I'm John May, and I'm a man in his 40s. And today, I'm going to go and see Dr. Frank. So I'm here today in the Liverpool city centre, and I've come to Dr. Frank's because I'm going to start my weight loss medication. He's took the time out to talk me through the process, and I'm going to tell him what my problems are being a man in my mid-40s. And I've got a choice here. I either choose a healthy lifestyle or I just carry on the way I'm going. So he's going to tell me the pros and cons, so come on.
Hiya, John.
Are you okay?
I'm good, how are you?
All right.
Come on through.
So Frank, I'm a man, I'm in my mid-40s. Some people drink, some people gamble, some people take drugs, some people... I eat.
Okay.
So I eat to make myself feel good in the moment. So I've always struggled with my weight. But believe it or not, I used to be a bodybuilder. So I went from like 16.5 stone to 10.5 stone in 8 months. So I sort of know how to do it. But this time round, I had a really bad time last year and I put loads of weight on and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, right, well, I'll start me walking again. I'll start eating these certain foods. I'll start doing this. Never worked, Frank. Why is that?
Okay, so let's break it down, John. So in terms of where you are in your life, mid-40s, things kind of start to change in the body. Your insulin resistance, which is a marker of your energy metabolism, starts to go up. It's almost like a vicious cycle where you eat a little bit more food because you think, okay, you know, I enjoy my food, I'm active, I'm doing what I'm doing. But as you get to that 40 mark, your body likes to store a little bit more energy than it likes to burn.
So it's not necessarily your metabolism slowing down, it's just that your body stores a little bit more.
When you talk about metabolism, what is it? It's how much energy do you burn per second or per minute, right? Let's say, for example, you ate 10 calories, and when you were 25, you'd eat 10 calories and you'd burn those 10 calories.
Yeah.
But when you're 40, you eat 10 calories and you burn 5 and you store 5. So it kind of sneaks up on you. The second thing is a lot of men, when they get to their mid-40s, are probably in a relationship, they've got kids, they've got family. It's not the same as when you were a bodybuilder in your teens and 20s. You're not getting as much time doing that kind of stuff.
No, I was 38 when I done that, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I'm only 44 now.
Yeah.
But even then, the weight was flying off me.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was in my 30s still, Frank, so,
Yeah.
you know.
For someone like yourself, right, where you've tried exercising, you've tried dieting, as you put on weight, your body's mechanism for regulating energy and appetite changes.
Okay.
All right. Your body gets used to having a bit of a savings account of energy. So the weight that you put on is calories that your body thinks it's saving up for a rainy day when there's going to be famine and no food around.
Look, I probably do eat high calorific foods. I do, but everyone does. I'm not a Ganny. I'm not like all the time. So
Sure.
I'm baffled by it a little bit. So it's that, isn't it?
So that's where the insulin resistance thing comes in. So for you now at 40 to be able to lose the weight, you're going to have to reduce the amount of calories you're consuming, irrespective of whether that's normal for someone your age or weight. This is about you. You can't generalize that because it's not about everyone. It's about you and what your body can manage.
Okay, so you know when you see this general, a man should have 2,500 calories a day, that's a general.
That's a general statement, but doesn't apply to someone who's trying to lose weight.
No, but even if I weren't trying to lose weight,
Yeah.
because I'm older now and my
Yeah.
insulin resistance, that would come down then, wouldn't it?
Well, it needs to come down, but actually people don't tell you that you need to bring it down.
Okay.
So if you're seeing the weight creep up, you need to start realizing that either for your metabolism at that point in your life, whatever you're consuming is just a little too much, or you're not burning enough of it. Now, people think they can exercise their weight away, but once you've put on a bit of weight, exercising it away doesn't always give you that answer. And the reason for that, if you're active anyway and you do a bit of exercise and you do a bit of walking around and your day is busy, you reach a saturation point. So there's only so many calories that you can burn in a 24-hour period.
Really?
Unless you're training like for a marathon and running 10K every day. That's a different ballgame.
Is this just general movements?
General
day-to-day
movement,
stuff?
absolutely.
Oh, you mean, I thought you meant like your body goes, right, that's enough now.
No. So it's just about how much your body can saturate. There comes a point where you will only burn so much and then your body goes into conservation mode, so it won't let you burn anymore. So the only real surefire way of helping people who have gotten to the point where they are, by clinical definition, overweight or obese, is calorie restriction. Now, that's easy to say.
Yes.
Not easy to do.
Well, that's it. I know what to do.
Yep.
But I just find this vicious circle. It's like I have a long day in work and then, again, my comfort is
Reach for something.
because I feel okay in that moment.
Yeah.
Now I need a bit of help with that, Frank.
For sure. To help you with that, what you got to understand is why that happens, right? So once you get to that point where you've got a little bit of weight on board, what your body does is it makes you want more of that stuff.
Why?
It's because it likes the saving of calories in fat cells because of the way it feels it's protecting the body.
Okay.
So what that does is it drives you to want and crave the stuff that will give you more calories. And when you try and cut down what you eat, you feel hungry, you feel like you can't function, you feel low, and the only thing that satisfies it is having more calories.
Well, that's where I'm at.
Absolutely.
That's the vicious circle I'm in.
It is. And the reason for that is that your body stops making the hormones that you should make from your stomach, from your gut, which go to your brain to say, guess what, John? You need to stop now because actually you've had enough and you're happy with what you've had.
Is that an age thing or just a vicious cycle?
It's a vicious cycle thing.
Okay.
It comes with that whole insulin resistance, getting to your 40s, having put on a bit of weight, and getting stuck in that cycle. So what we do with treatment is the medical weight loss injections that we use called GLP-1 medications. GLP-1 is that hormone that you're not making enough of from your tummy.
Okay.
And what we're doing is essentially giving you hormone replacement back to reset your hormone level so that your energy and your appetite go back to where they should be and are not driven to wanting more than your body needs, but you only have exactly what your body needs and not wants.
It's like reinstalling a program on your computer.
Very much is.
Basically what it is.
It's a reboot.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
It's a reboot.
See, even like, you know, said I've done a bit of like bodybuilding and stuff like that. It was always an aesthetic thing for me. It's like I wanted to look good. Because when you're younger, you can get away with murder, can't you?
Yeah.
But now I'm 44. My mum died when she was 57.
Okay.
My dad died when he was 61.
Right.
I'm 44. So
Okay.
my mortality is starting to kick in now. And I'm
Okay.
starting to think, and I'm not going to lie, Frank, I've got 3 daughters. I want a son.
Yeah.
I want to keep going.
Okay.
So my mortality, and I'm thinking, if I live till 88, which I'd be made up with,
Yeah.
hopefully I do, but I probably won't. But it's like, I'm way over the hill.
Yeah.
So it's not it's not an aesthetic thing, it is a health thing.
It's a health thing.
I embrace my age, I embrace who I am.
Yeah.
But I want to be a healthy version of me. And that's the importance of it, is the health,
For
not
sure.
the look.
For
And I know
sure.
a lot of people, weight's always been about look, but honestly, and I think a lot of men in the 40s, 50s, whatever,
Yeah.
they're going to feel the same as well.
Absolutely. So look, I'm an endocrinologist, right? So I'm a physician first, okay? And for me, when I treat someone and help their weight management goals, and I'm using medical treatment to do that, the first thing that I always say to them is, look, this is about me preventing you getting type 2 diabetes, preventing you getting high blood pressure, preventing you getting high cholesterol. When you put all of that together, preventing you getting heart attacks, strokes, and heart failure and dying from it. I want you to be the best version of you for as long as I can keep you going without any of those things happening to you, okay? And unfortunately, you're right. I mean, the world is such a place now where aesthetics does drive a lot. Now, there's a second part to this, though. You know, a lot of men and women who struggle with their weight, obviously, the health is physical health, but you cannot undervalue the impact of mental health when it comes to someone's weight.
Yeah.
And for me, if I can help their physical health, but at the same time they look better and feel better as a result of it, that's a huge impact on their mental health.
Of course, if you look, I suppose if you look better, you feel
better
as well.
Absolutely do.
But personally, that was an issue I had, low self-esteem. I had to look a certain way. But I never, well, when I done the bodybuilding, I felt great, but I couldn't maintain that lifestyle, you know what I mean? But as I say, the aesthetic side of it, I've sort of accepted that. I don't mind. I love myself now, you know, just regardless, and I'm over that. But again, it is the health thing. But I'm not going to lie to you, mate. You know, if I look well in a shirt, you know,
that'll be good for you.
It's more confidence in it, you know.
Sure.
And you know what as well, Frank, when I did do this men's physique competition, this is quite bizarre, this. Because I always had a bit of weight with me, I'm the funny guy. People liked me, people respected me, but when I was a lean version of me, people spoke to me differently, you know, Frank.
Yeah.
They had more respect for me, because they saw a man who really looks after himself, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit more intimidating, I think.
I spend a lot of time working on what's called weight stigma. Okay, so weight stigma is where, unfortunately, we've come to almost stigmatize people who struggle with their weight.
Yeah.
And it's a subconscious thing. We're trying to change that because what we've learned more and more is that when someone's struggling with their weight, it isn't a simple eat less, do more. It's about willpower. We know now that it isn't about willpower, that there's so much around your genetics, your environment, your mental health in your early years. All of that contributes to where you end up with regards to your weight and your health.
Well, I've been diagnosed with ADHD. So I've got ADHD. So I'm constantly scraping and scavenging for dopamine.
Yeah.
So where am I going for it? I don't drink. I don't take drugs. I go for food.
And we find that there's quite a lot of overlap when we look at our patients with ADHD and struggling with their weight. So for you, these kind of treatments, as long as they're supported by ongoing efforts to watch what you're eating, making changes to your diet, because the medication helps, don't get me wrong, right? It's not a magic cure of any sort. What it does is it allows you to get control over your eating habits, gives you the foundation to make changes so that you can start looking at what are the things that are in the fridge or in the cupboard that I can stop putting in there from now on? How do I get back to that gym a little bit more if I can find the time to? And once you put that package together, then not only are you losing weight, but you're helping yourself get physically, cardiovascularly healthier, which is the main aim of this from my point of view.
So it gives everyone a little bit of a... Because I'm in a cycle now.
Yeah.
So this is an age that'll break that cycle, isn't it?
Yep.
And if I lose a bit of weight, I'm like, right, okay.
Absolutely.
I might walk more. I might go to the gym more. And the more I'm seeing results, that's going to...
It'll motivate you to do even more. Absolutely.
So people my age, especially men my age, what risks do we have being overweight?
So I think in your case, let's take it specifically as well. So obviously, when your weight goes up, the weight itself increases your what we call cardiovascular risk. So that's directly as well as indirectly. So we know that the fat cells make chemicals in your body that actually then interfere with the way there's inflammation in your arteries and your circulation. So the inner lining gets inflamed, you get more cholesterol buildup, you then eventually end up with plaque, or what we call like furring up of your circulation, basically. And the more furred up you get, eventually gets to the point where the furring up is so thick that you can't get blood through. You block the circulation to a bit of the heart muscle dies, that's a heart attack. You get a bit of furring up to the brain, you block it off so much, you get a stroke.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that you're trying to prevent, right?
Yeah.
So there's the weight itself, there's the risk of diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. The other thing we also see in men who are struggling is they're not always performing their best when it comes to the gents department in a way. So they tend to find that they're... I'm not talking about you, John, by any means, but you know.
That worries me as well. It's like, I do want a son. I do. Sure. I want to have another kid. I was with my ex for about a year and we were trying it and we weren't having a flag.
No.
So that's a worry.
It is. So things you got to watch out for there are obviously as you lose weight, or if you put on weight, let's put it the other way around, there's something called the metabolic syndrome. As part of that, men also stop making the hormone controllers for testosterone from the pituitary gland. So they start making less of the controllers, so you make less testosterone, so you tend to get a little bit more low libido, a little bit less motivated, don't really want to get out and do anything. And that also results in you losing a bit of muscle mass and putting on a little bit more fat, especially around the middle.
Yeah.
It's all kind of tied up, right?
See, mine's all here.
Yeah.
Why is that? Am I inflamed?
Well, it is inflammation. It's kind of a chicken and egg, okay? So what happens is with this whole insulin resistance thing, the body, what it does is it puts weight on in the most harmful place first. It stores it inside your belly. So you've got fat in and around your liver, in and around your bowels and your gut. Visceral fat, okay? So visceral fat is bad fat. Subcutaneous fat that's below the skin is kind of protective to some extent. And that's where the whole apple and pear, we used to call it apple and pear. So if you're an apple, it was all around the middle. If you're a pear, it was more around your hips.
I'm an apple.
Apples are healthy. One a day, keep the doctor away. But yeah, you know, but in this scenario, not necessarily. But I think the key thing is that visceral fat is what we want to target. And the nice thing about these medications is that they actually get rid of visceral fat first.
Do they?
Absolutely. So we now know that these medications are also used for a condition, it used to be called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, okay, where your liver was inflamed because of fat. It's called now metabolic associated steatohepatitis, right? So basically it means that there's fat in your liver and that itself is a risk factor for cardiovascular disease and inflammation. So it's that middle bit that we want to target. That's what we don't want. And these medications help to change that The other thing from your history, for a man in his 40s, is we look at family history too. So unfortunately, sorry to hear about your mum and your dad at quite an early age, really. If you have a relative, first degree relative, who's died from a heart attack or a stroke below the age of 60, that is a risk factor in itself. After this, one of the things we'll want to do for you or any of my patients would be to get a good blood testing profile just to check your cholesterol, diabetes screen, and then we need to do kind of your blood pressure. And then we put these numbers into a mix where we put your height, your weight, blood pressure, your history, any other conditions you've got. And what it tells you is, what is your percentage risk of having a stroke or a heart attack over the next 5-10 years. And we use that data to decide whether you need additional treatments, how aggressive you should be, and you can give people a number.
Okay.
People like numbers.
Yeah.
It's something to motivate.
It's benchmarking.
It's benchmarking.
From.
Absolutely.
So I've got a choice here, haven't I, Frank? If I carry on this slippery slope,
yep,
I'm going to be getting a lot of visceral fat. I'm going to put myself at risk as a heart attack.
Yes.
Stroke.
Yes. Diabetes.
Maybe. So I can either go down that route.
Yep.
Or I can start living a healthier lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And this is an ideal way to start, isn't it?
It is. I think, for someone who's been to the gym, tried, and despite doing everything that you were doing, is struggling with the weight. So remember that these medical treatments that we offer are not for first timers. It's not an easy solution. We want people who have tried and failed. That this is for them, really. Because everything we do comes with a bit of risk. We have to look after you. We need to warn you about side effects. They're very well tolerated. Okay, so the commonest side effects tend to be like nausea, a bit of diarrhea, a bit of vomiting, or constipation in some people. But it's mild. It lasts a couple of days when you start it, just your body getting used to the hormones. And then after that, it disappears. And as you go on week by week, your side effects get less and less.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't eat as much, do you?
Yep.
So your body will start to go into a bit of a fast. You start to heal, is that right?
So we know that fasting or lowering your calorie intake will help reduce kind of what they call inflammation related to adipose tissue or fat tissue, right? But more importantly, what you're doing as you eat less is that you're starting to shift and utilize the stored up visceral fat.
Okay.
So that's how you're getting rid of it. You're not adding new energy in, you're going into your stores and using it up. And that's what you're trying to do.
But there's a lot more health benefits to it other than weight loss, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. So in terms of the medications that are around, we know that they can prevent you developing diabetes, even if you've got borderline or pre-diabetes. If you have developed diabetes, we know that they help you to bring your blood glucose levels right down in more people, right down into the normal range in most people as well, depending on how early on you get them and how aggressive you are. We know that some of these medications have been shown to reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, death by about 20% in some cases, right? So that's 1 in 5, reduction. The other thing that to talk about is, I don't want to be rude, but we're talking about the men's health side of things. So about, I think it was year before last, or last year, I think it was, after these medications came out in the public domain, there was an article in mainstream media that talked about how the average length of a man's, was longer than it had been for many years.
Really?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm right anyway.
Yeah,
but, I'll take an extra inch, Frank.
But there you go. And whether that was because there's fat loss around the bottom, whether they can see better because the tummy's a bit smaller, I don't know. But there was stuff like that too.
That's interesting, isn't it?
And then the other...
I'm buying for that alone.
But there we are. But the other thing that we get a lot of blokes or men who come in, when they put on weight, they get this thing called sleep apnea.
I've got sleep apnea.
Well, there you go.
So it's a problem. I've got a girlfriend. We're very much in love, but I snore outrageously. Yep. It's embarrassing. And not only is it embarrassing, it's to prevent me sleeping properly. Yep. It's affecting my relationship. It's affecting me health. So even having this medication, that's going to reduce that, isn't it?
Absolutely. So obviously the standard treatment for sleep apnea is a CPAP machine. Okay. Now, some men will use it and really compliant with it, and it will help them. They'll wake up in the morning feeling refreshed. They've got oxygen into their brains and they're good. Energy levels are good. All's good. Some men just won't because it's noisy, it's uncomfortable. They don't, right? And we know that sleep apnea is directly related to weight. And what the trials have shown is that one of the medications actually gives you the similar or same amount of benefit as wearing CPAP overnight.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, that's handy to know.
Yeah. So sleep apnea is another major thing that men benefit from when they have that as a condition.
Frank, can I ask you something while you're here?
Yeah, for sure.
You're being a doctor now. So I've got sleep apnea, I know that. I first found out I had sleep apnea. I was away, I was in London. And I woke up choking.
Yep.
I couldn't breathe. It's like, when you're a kid and you fight with one of your brothers or something, you get winded. You're like, I've had that through the years. That's why I first went to the doctors, and he's like, well, you got sleep apnea, and I went to the sleep clinic or whatever. So what I tend to do when I wake up and I can't breathe, I swallow, and I calm down and it goes. I had it the other night, Frank. I thought, right, well, I'll swallow. And it just wasn't going.
Okay.
And if it had carried on any longer,
Yeah.
I might have went unconscious.
Okay.
But then I'd have been unconscious, not being able to breathe. So I could have died.
Yeah.
What is that?
So essentially what you're getting in sleep, I mean, that's quite an extreme. We don't tend to see a lot of that,
It was
right?
the worst I've ever had that.
Yeah.
Like,
The simple mechanism in sleep apnea is that
acid.
it is acid to some extent that causes that spasm.
It burns me throat.
Yeah.
And my whole throat just closes.
Yeah.
But on this occasion, it wasn't going. And I was starting to think, shit, this is not good.
I mean, that's not typical of sleep apnea, right? With sleep apnea, the typical thing is the snoring, your tongue's falling back, you just aren't getting enough air in, and that's what's happening. And sometimes I have patients whose wives or partners will slap them on the back and say, turn over, stop breathing. Or sometimes you'll have patients themselves kind of wake themselves up because they feel like they're choking. They kind of sit up to try and get up and catch their breath.
But then your partner's tired as well. So
Yeah.
I tell my partner, go, approach me nice and ask me to go and sleep downstairs.
Yeah.
But I've just woken up snoring. He's not going to approach me nice.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
no.
So it affects your relationship as well.
It does. It's not an easy solution. I think with that spasm that you're getting, I wonder if you are getting some acid reflux that's just causing you to get a bit of burning in the throat, and that's causing you to spasm up a little bit. I think, it's just one of those to keep in mind.
So, Frank, where do I go from here?
If you're keen to try the medication, I think the next steps for us would be to sit down in a bit more detail with one of our nurses, go through how does the medication work? How do you administer it? What's the dosage you start on? What are the side effects to look out for? What are the things you need to be mindful of? What are the things you do to avoid the side effects? So simple things like when you start the medication to avoid the nausea, which is the commonest thing, I say to people, look, you might have been eating off a regular plate until yesterday. The day that you take your first jab, you're going to have to work with me to only plate up half of what you normally plate up.
Okay.
Because one of the ways in which the medication works is it slows your stomach down. So if you try and eat what is on your plate normally and your stomach suddenly slowed down, there's nowhere for that food to go, it's going to come straight back up.
So is that what causes the nausea?
That's what causes the nausea.
Okay.
Okay? If you can follow that rule where you make a concerted effort to reduce your portion size, the nausea will pass without you feeling it.
Okay.
Okay? That's step one. The second step that I tell them to say is, you might do that for a day or two, but within those first couple of days when the medication's in your system and it gets to the dose that's right for you to switch off that, I need a larger portion, you won't need to make an effort to do half a plate. It will do it for you.
Yeah.
And that's where you will get to.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's when you maintain the medication.
And that's when you maintain. And then you'll get to the point where your body thinks, okay, I started on a low dose, and now I feel a bit hungry again. And that's usually about week 3 or 4.
So you get a bit of a plateau and your body sort of gets used to it.
That's it. Then you need a higher dose.
Okay.
And that's why we start on the low dose, get you on it safely, then we go up a bit, and then we go up a bit more. And we keep going until you get to a point where you turn around and say to me, Frank, this is good. I'm controlled. The noise is gone. I'm not reaching. I'm not picking. I feel like I'm in control, and my weight is dropping steadily.
With this as well, Frank, you see people advertising and selling certain medications on Instagram and Facebook, and usually it's someone who does aesthetics, or it's someone who, I don't know, like meeting someone in a dark alley,
Yeah.
Have you got that thingy there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting, do you?
No, you don't. I mean, I've been doing medical weight loss since 2017.
Okay.
So back in the day, there used to be a once-a-day injection, which we used to use, right? And as time's gone by, the more effective weekly ones have come through, and that's what most people use now. But during that time, I've seen people exploit people who are desperate. We've talked about the emotional impact that it has on people,
of course,
and people will reach for any solution they can get. And I've seen the worst of the worst. And, there's actually a global safety network for fake medications, for people doing this kind of stuff that we report into. What I say to people is, if it's too good to be true, it ain't true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the key thing. And I wish people would learn that these medications come with risks and they've got to be managed. They're here to look after people who have medical issues. And that's the key focus for me.
Because I have seen these people going, oh, I wonder if I can get it off them and blah, blah, blah. But like, comes to you guys, I've seen you, like, your facility, and I've seen what you're doing, like, it's proper. You can trust you.
Yeah.
It's trusted and people come. If someone was interested in going on the weight loss program, what would be the process for them then?
You and I are having a chat today face to face, but we know that for a lot of people, they don't particularly want to be seen because it's very personal to them. So we run a virtual service, and essentially they go onto the website, which is just www.drfranks.co.uk. They start filling in a questionnaire. And in that questionnaire, they populate their health details, their height, their weight. We make them upload photographs of, their body shape so that we know that they are truly them. Because there are young people out there, or even older people out there, who have problems with body image and use this for the wrong reasons. And we try and make sure that we do not allow that to happen.
Okay.
So they have to upload it. We have ID that they have to upload. And we have to cross-check their ID with their photograph, and then a practitioner.
Okay. So you're actually that intricate with it, yeah?
Absolutely. And then
do I
once we're happy,
Frank?
I'd have to just about, John. Just about. But yeah, so I think that's how they do it. They go on the website, they fill in the details. They can book an appointment with the nurse straight away. It's like a video consultation. They go on the diary, they pick a slot, and our nurses are all trained in weight loss and diabetes and have been doing it for years. Most of them work in the NHS and work here. So we keep our NHS contact because we learn about that
stuff.
So
will the nurses monitor these people as they go and then advise them as they go?
Absolutely. Every 4 weeks. Right, every time you need a dose increase or a renewal of prescription, we check in on you, make sure you're progressing okay, make sure you've got no side effects, and then only do you get your next medication. Now, we have people who do what's called self-directed. So once they feel confident, they know what they're doing, then we let them kind of feed in electronically to say, how am I getting on? What's your weight? They feed all the data in, and we'll review all of that, and we'll renew as well.
So you have professionals sort of guiding people.
Absolutely.
Right through the process. Well,
absolutely.
That's fantastic.
And we have a nutritionist, a dietitian, and in terms of exercise, we obviously tell people what sort of exercise they need. So our clinicians will guide them on what to eat, what not to eat. For a lot of people who struggled with their weight, I mean, you're an exception to the rule a little bit because you're already quite active. But we do get a lot of people who just aren't active at all. And it's almost starting from scratch where you say, look, just do 10 minutes of walking a day. Start with that and move up to 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week. That's the kind of slow and steady start.
This isn't just a magic potion as well at the same time. It's like, I don't think you can't just have it.
No.
And then that's it. You've got to actually apply having a healthy lifestyle around it.
And it's only when you make the changes. I mean, I've had patients.
But it's that kickstart.
It's the kickstart. I mean, I've had patients who said, Professor Joseph, Frank, I've been taking this and I'm eating loads less, but I'm not losing weight. And I said, well, what are you eating? Oh, well, because I'm eating so much less, I treat myself to a chocolate every day. That doesn't work.
I think it's 8 pounds over.
That's it might not be a huge portion, but the chocolate has calories. And the calories don't come down. So it's about thinking about what is calorie-dense food versus non-calorie dense. So we like to promote high protein, high fiber, low carb, right? That's what works really well with the medication. And that's what you want to focus on. And lots of hydration. So a lot of people mistake thirst for hunger.
Yeah.
And they just eat instead of actually just drinking fluid.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that we need to get into. But that's what the team are there for, is to guide people at every step of the way. And they get other stuff that we send out to them. We have like a portal that they log on to, and there's information on there that they can access to.
Okay. Well, thanks, Frank.
My pleasure.
I'm going to go and have a chat with one of your nurses.
Yeah.
See how I get on.
Let's get you trained up.
And let's get on the weight loss journey.
Sounds good.
Thanks for your time.
Nice to see you, John.
Thank you very much.
No problem at all.
Thank you. Yeah, so I've just seen the nurse and I've just seen Dr. Frank, and he brought up the sleep apnea, and that did scare me the other night. I'll be honest with you, that's the biggest health scare I've ever had in my life. I really did shit myself. I really did think my number was up. And it's not a lie. So I do need to lose weight. I look forward to it. I look forward to having a little kickstart to get myself, not back where I was, but where it should be, really. And that's healthy. Just got to wait for it in the post now. Oh well. This video was sponsored by Dr. Frank's, and if you're interested in going on a weight loss journey, like me, get in touch with Dr. Frank's and they'll take you right through the process like you've just seen, and hopefully, you can start to be dead lean like me. Click the link below to get a discount. Click, like, subscribe, in a bit. Ta-da!